Everyone, and I hope you're all well. It's just my final thoughts on the Nike Hyperrev 2015. So, starting off with the traction pattern which they've used gives the player good coverage, so I didn't have much problems with slipping at all. The traction itself, the gaps between each traction pattern is quite wide, so it doesn't really collect much dust, but you are still going to have slipping on dusty courts, and that's the same with every shoe, so please wipe to maintain adequate traction. On your clean courts, it's great. Outdoors again, it's a much more thicker traction pattern than last year's Hyperrev, but really because of the upper materials, which is just all mesh, I wouldn't really suggest using it outdoors. You can if you want, but that's just up to you guys. It's really down to what you guys want to do. If you want to spend the money to use this shoe outdoors, then the traction pattern won't break down so easily as last year's model, but just bear in mind that the upper materials are very thin, so you're going to have to deal with that yourselves. But in terms of traction, I enjoyed the traction, I think it's good. Coming to cushioning on the shoe, we've got a 4-foot zoom unit and a heel zoom unit. Now, you can feel the zoom in both, so you can feel it in the heel and the 4-foot. Once again, like I always say guys, it's not unlock zoom, so you're not going to feel it like a Superfly or anything, but it is underfoot. Both zoom units do a good job of absorbing impact. I didn't have any issues with pains in my joints after I played in the shoe. Also, in terms of responsiveness, the zoom units are quite responsive. Once again, not like a Superfly, but they are quite responsive. The cushioning setup though, it's not as good as last year's model. I still preferred the full length where it went from heel to toe all the way through, and it was just a really nice feeling underfoot. I can't really describe it. You'd have to play in it yourself to understand what I'm saying. But the feeling was really nice underfoot. This year's model, the separated 4-foot and heel units still do a good job, but it's not as good as last year's model. But I can't complain. The cushioning is decent. So coming up to the upper materials now. We've got basically primarily mesh with slight fuse overlays. So we've got a little bit of fuse on the toe, the Nike tick, that's a bit of fuse. We've got this little plastic kind of cage heel holder in the back. It's a strange one. I haven't experienced anything like this in a shoe before, but I must say it did its job well. It stopped my heel moving side to side in the shoe, and that's great. So giving me good support all in all. It's a bit roomy up here in the toe, but I kind of like that. I like that little bit of range of movement that you have in the toe. The ventilation is great. Obviously being primarily mesh, that's where the ventilation is coming from. It comes a little bit from the tongue as well. I mean, the shoe itself, the uppers, I enjoyed them. You've got fly wire here for your lacing system. It really does keep your foot locked into the footbed. The inner booty as well keeps your foot locked in. It's a bit hard for you to get your foot in at first, but when your foot's in, it really gives you a one-to-one fit, and I enjoyed it a lot. Inside the shoe here, we've got two little, they're kind of like a little bit of a heel, like Achilles pillow kind of thing, but right inside here. When you put it in, your Achilles fits nicely between those two little pillows that they have there, and that's a nice feeling as well. So all in all guys, I think the materials are great on this shoe. And I actually like the look of it aesthetically as well. I think it's a good looking shoe. So yeah, that's materials. So what do I think about this year's Hyperrev? Well, I actually enjoy everything about this shoe more than last year's model. Only thing that I don't enjoy more is the cushioning system, and because of that, I've got to give it a good grade. The traction is good, no complaints about the traction. Cushioning system, not as good as last year's model, but good nevertheless. The materials they've used, I really enjoy the materials. Although it's mesh, the materials keep your foot locked into the footbed really nicely, no heel slippage. That one booty construction up here, it works really well for me. So yeah guys, I actually enjoy this shoe, and I'm definitely going to be playing in it a lot. So because of that reason, and because of all the tech that's gone into it and what it's providing me as a player, I'm going to give this shoe a 4 out of 5 rating. Like I said, great shoe guys, and a decent price point as well. It's not too expensive. So you know, if you want a good shoe to play indoors with, out of the 2015 models that are coming up now, this is a shoe that I would suggest that you use. So I hope you enjoyed the performance test guys and the end review. Leave a like, a comment and subscribe. Also leave a like if you made it to the end of the video. That's really appreciated by me if you have. And please just stay tuned for more. I've got more coming soon. So if you subscribe, you're going to be made aware straight away when new videos pop up. So as always guys, take care.